Okay, this is the second part of the video where we are discussing about how we can basically manipulate the safe searches or alerts using Splunk Python SDK. Now, in the previous video, if you remember, we discussed about how we can create the safe searches, right? And how to list the safe searches as well, and how to connect to Splunk. These three methods we have developed over there. And while doing that, we saw like when we try to create a safe search, it's basically we need to add the safe search to the safe search collection over there, right? And we talked about different classes involved in the Python SDK to manage these stuffs over here. Now, while doing that, we basically created this particular new safe search, right, with this particular search and with this particular payload over here. So if I just can show you over here in my Splunk, so this is what we have created over there. Now currently I have disabled it because otherwise it is unnecessary, it will run. So now this new safe search, if you see it, the type of this one is a report basically, which is nothing but a safe search. Now let us first try to see how we can just manipulate this particular payload, basically change this payload to make this a alert, to create an alert. So as I said, creating a safe search and alerts is the same process. Alerts have some additional payload contents like the alert actions and those stuff. Okay, so for that, what we'll do is we will give a separate name. Let's say we'll keep this new safe search. We will give a separate name called, let's say, new alert. Okay, new alert over here. Now for the safe search payload, we use payload underscore ss. So let us try to create a new payload, which we will be using it for the alert creation. So we will name it as payload underscore alert over here. Okay, now while creating that safe search in the create safe search method, as I said, we will be providing this new payload over here. Okay, payload underscore alert. That will be the difference. As name, we already have it over here, and the search, let us keep it as same only. Now let us try to see what is the difference between these two payloads. So for that, if you remember, I created a sample test alert, right? So if we see the safesearches.conf, just like we saw the sample safesearches.conf file, we will see the difference. So if I already opened that file over here, so this is the whole content of that sample test alert over here. If you see it, lot of stuffs are common, just like the cron schedule, which we already have it in our payload, correct? So which is over here. So let's keep the cron schedule every 2 minutes only. Even the description is also common over here. So I'll just change the description over here to something like this is a sample safe search, or this is a new, this is sample test alert. Okay, so sample alert, let's say. So description also fine. Now the third thing is scheduled, which is nothing but enable schedule we saw in the documentation, which is also same between these two. So which is also there in our case, whether this alert will be run on schedule or not. Disabled equals to 0, we saw that. Now the dispatch earliest time and latest time also we saw that it is also same over there. If you see it over here, dispatch earliest time and latest time over here. Now the differences are like the quantity, the relation, the search. So search is fine, but the quantity and relation, that means if I just go over here to this sample test alert, when we create an alert, right, for the alert triggering condition, we have to give something like the number of results or number of hosts, source, or any custom condition which is greater than or less than, or these things you can select it, right? So these things you cannot set it for the safe search. This is very much unique to the alerts over here, right? So that settings are unique over here, and the alert actions over here. So if you just see it over here in that sample test alert, I have given a email action over here, like to whom the email needs to go to, the priority, other stuff, what will be the subject and other stuff over here, right? So this is the difference between these two. So if we just make the payload to accept these values, then we are done. So let us set this. So the first thing is the email action. Somewhere, some way we need to mention my alert action is email. So as I said, we cannot give the same value, the same key name in our code. We need to always refer to the payload structure over here. Now there is a input called actions. So if I just go down, if you see it over here, so there is an input called actions, which is a comma separated list of actions to be enabled, like the RSS, email, webhook, those stuff. Okay, so whenever you want to turn on the email action.email, something like this one, maybe a alert can have more than one action as well, right? So in this case, in the savesearches.conf, it will be something like action.email equals to 1, action.webhook equals to 1, something like this one. But when we will do it programmatically, we have to do something like actions equals to email, comma, webhook, comma, RSS, something like this one. Okay, so let us create this guy over here. So as we are only creating the email action, so which we will say actions colon, it will be email over here for us, correct? So this is the one. Now the second thing is, if the action is email, so there is a email to action.email.to, correct? So let us see in the documentation if anything is there or not. So I think this is the same one. So if I just go up for action.email, if you see the action.email.form, we have email BCC, CC, everything we have. Even for the email to as well, it should be there. I think somewhere below. Action.email.to over here. Okay, so it is the same name. So we can put it as is. So we will go over here. We will say action.email.to. So let's give my email ID only. Okay, so this is my action.email.to. Now let's move on. The next thing is the digest mode. If you see it, alert digest mode. So this is another interesting stuff about alert. If I just go back over here to the sample test alert, so over here if you see, a alert can be run only once for the result set or for each result set. So this is nothing but the digest mode over here. Okay, so if I go back to the endpoint description, so there should be something called action.digest mode, sorry, alert.digest mode over here. Here it is, alert.digest mode specifies whether the alert actions are applied to the entire result or each individual result over here, right? The default is 1, which is nothing but the entire result over here. So the name is alert.digest mode. So we will set it up over here. So we will say alert.digest mode. We will set it as 1 only over here. If you want to set it as 0, you can set it as 0 as well over here. So that's the digest mode. Now let us see. Now let us try to set these two things over here, the quantity and the relation over here, the triggering mode over here, right? Now the thing is, the quantity will be, now if you see it over here in our search, the quantity is the triggering alert when the number of result is greater than 0 over here, right? Now if I just go back to the savesearches.conf, this count type is actually holding that particular string, the number of event. The quantity is that portion, like where greater than 0 or not, that quantity, and the relation is that greater than, less than is held by this guy over here. So that means quantity, relation, and the count type. These three things actually applying over there. Now let's see the count type, which input we can use it over here. So if I just go back to the documentation over here, so there is something called alert underscore type over here. If you see, what to based on alert on overridden by alert condition if it is specified. Valid values are always custom, number of event, those stuff over here. So this is what is nothing but the count type in our savesearches.conf, right? So we will mention this one as well, alert type, which is nothing but the number of events over here, correct? So this is number of events over here. So similarly, the relation which is like the greater than or less than, that is actually nothing but the alert underscore comparator over here. Okay, so we will add it over here. So I would suggest you just go to the documentation, you will come to know what I am using it over here. Okay, so which is nothing but the greater than over here. And the last thing is that this guy over here, the quantity, like greater than what, 0, 1, 2. So that is nothing but the alert underscore threshold over here. So if I just see it, alert underscore threshold over here. So if I just copy it and paste it over here, alert threshold, which is 0 in our case, correct? So this will become the payload for our alert over here. So if we just run this program now with this particular payload alert to our create safe search method, so it should be basically creating a alert over here. So let us try to run this particular program over here and see what's going on over here. So our Splunk service created successfully. These are the existing list of safe searches. If you see, our new safe search is also showing up over there. Our new alert has been created as well, and again we are listing the safe searches. Even the new alert is coming up over here, correct? So if I just go back, and if you see, the new alert is already created over here, and the type of this object is alert over here. This is important over here. And if I just open it, if you see those descriptions, searches, cron schedules, even this number of result greater than, everything is coming up over here. And the digest mode is also once, it is setting up to once, because we set the digest mode as 1 over here, correct? So and if you see, like in the alert action, it's automatically selected the email, the email ID needs to go to, everything over here, correct? So this is how basically we create an alert as well using the Python SDK. Okay, now let's move on. Let's talk about how we can update a alert over here, or a safe search. The method will be similar, so I will just show it for once. I think that will be, you'll be able to understand why it will be applicable for the safe searches as well. So for simplicity, let us disable it for now, otherwise it will unnecessarily run. So we will go back over here. So for the update safe search, what we will do is we will create a new method over here as we were doing it previously. We'll name it as update underscore safe search. Okay, now we will see what its inputs will be. First, let us try to create the skeleton and see which method we need to use it first. Except print exception as E over here. Okay, now when we created a particular safe search, right, what we did basically, we added to the safe search collection. So this safe search collection is actually represented by this particular class, save searches over here, right? So if I just go back, this save searches, right, and each and every element of this particular collection is a object of saved search class, correct? Saved search class. Now in this particular saved search, because we are trying to add or basically update a particular safe search over here, in this particular class there is a method called update. If you see it over here, it takes two arguments. One is a search string, another is again a payload kind of structure over here. So we will be using this guy to update a safe search over here. Now for that, we need to physically have an object of this safe search class over here, right? So let us try to do that. How we will get it? Now in the safe searches list, we saw how to get a saved searches collection over here. Like if we have a Splunk service and we call the saved underscore searches method of it, we'll get a collection, saved searches collection over here. Let us try to use this guy to get this collection first. Okay, in our update save search method. Now for this we need a Splunk service. That means this Splunk service needs to be an input over here. So now we want to update a specific save search, right? So that means our save search name will also need to be an input of this one. Saved save search name, correct? Now how to get a specific save search name out of this guy? So this is nothing but a dictionary over here, right? So where each and every save search name is the key of that particular dictionary over here. That's why we were printing that name over here, right? Save search dot name. So if you see the list method, we are printing the save search dot name, right? So you are calling that particular, we're basically accessing that particular key over there. So to get a particular save search details, what we'll do over here, we will pass this save search name as a key of this particular dictionary over here. Now we will name it as, it will be then becoming a save search class object, right? Because we are talking about a particular save search. So we will name it as my saved search over here. Okay, now let us see what is the content of this guy. So to do that, we will go back to the documentation again. In the saved searches, the saved search class, there is a method called content. It returns the content of that particular save search, right? So let us call that and see what it is printing over here. So we will print my saved search dot content over here. Okay, now we will call this update save search. Currently we are not doing any update, we are just trying to see it. Now we do not want to create the save search again with the same name because it will throw us an error. So that's why we will comment it, and we will comment this list as well for now, and we will call this update save search over here. Okay, so no other methods we are calling it. We need the Splunk service, so that's why that is what we are passing it over here. Now the save search name, we will pass this name, let's say this particular alert name we just created over here, correct? So that's it. So let us try to see what it is printing first. So we will run it. If you see, it basically printed a big JSON object or dictionary over here, correct? So let us copy that and take it to our Notepad++. Paste it over here. If you see, it is a huge payload over here. Now how you will understand what is there inside this one? So the best way to do it is, if you see, for this particular alert, we have given a search called something like index equals to underscore internal, correct? So if we just search it over here, at least we will try to find something. Index equals to underscore internal over here. So now there are, if I just say count, there are 2 matches over here, correct? So let us see it. Index equals to underscore internal. So one key name is qualified search over here. If you see, qualified search colon the search string. Another key name is search over here. Okay, the difference is the qualified search is actually having a search command before this actual search over here. Okay, so that is how Splunk will be internally running this particular search, whatever we have given it over there. So but the search string we are giving it over here is actually stored in the search key in the payload over here. Now why I did this? Because if you see the update method over here, so it has 2 arguments. One is search, that means if you want to change the search, you need to give a new search over there, and the list of, and basically a dictionary over there if you want to change any other parameters over there, any other payload structure over there, right? So in our update underscore save search method, we will give 2 provisions as well. Okay, one is a new search we will take, okay, another is new payload we will take. Okay, and the default value of the new payload will be the blank dictionary. If you are not providing any additional payload, it will not change anything over there. So okay, but if you are not giving any search, it needs to keep the older search as well as is over there, right? So for that, what we can do it over here is, we already know which key is actually holding the actual search string, right? So it is nothing but the search key. So we can say current search. Let's keep the current search of that particular alert in a variable called current_search. I will say my save search, and the key name we saw is search, right? So which is nothing but this guy over here. Be aware, do not use this qualified search, because this is something internal Splunk is creating over here. Okay, you need to use this guy over here, search. Now, so this is our current search. So if I am saying, if we are providing new search, so if we'll say if new search, that means if we are providing any value to this new search, let's keep it as a updated search equals to new. So this updated search we will be providing to that update method over there, right? So updated search will be my new search, else my updated search will be my current search only. We will be keeping the current search as is over there. Now we will call this update method over here, right? My save search dot update, it takes two argument, a new search, which we will be providing our updated search, either it will be a new search or current search, and a new payload star. It's the similar way we are passing a payload, this guy. So this should be sufficient enough to basically create that or update that particular save search over here. For debugging purpose, we will just print the current search of this particular search we are updating over here, just to understand we are doing it correctly. Okay, so that is my updated search, and similar stuff we will just do some formatting over here, and if everything going fine, we will print the save search or alert updated correctly over here. Okay, so it is my save search name, updated correctly over here dot format, and here I will be passing the save search name over here. Okay, even here you can basically handle those exceptions as well. If you are not providing any save search name, you will be throwing some error over here. This should be small print. Okay, so those things you can do it as well over here. There is always a better way to write a program. Okay, so I am not going to that level, otherwise the content will be too much information in those cases. Okay, I just wanted to focus on the main part over here. So let us test this program now. So we will call this updated save search method in our main program, so which you already have, update save search, but here we added some new extra payloads or extra inputs over here. So let us provide that over here. Now Splunk service we have, name we have, let us create a new search over here. Okay, so in our alert we were using a search called index equals to internal stats count by source type, right? So let us change a bit over here, stats count by source. Okay, so that is what we'll be doing it. And the payload, so let's create the new payload as well over here. Okay, here it will be a Python dictionary, right? So let's say we want to change the description and the cron schedule over here, these two stuff. Okay, so the cron schedule we will be providing something like this one. Let's say cron schedule and the description over here. And what I'll do it over here is I will, as it's a simple dictionary over here, so I'll just keep it as in the single line itself. Now in the cron schedule, I just wanted to change it from 2 minutes to 20 minutes. Okay, just to check whether it is updating or not. And the description is this is updated alert. Okay, let's say updated alert over here. Okay, so this will be our new payload over here. Now if I just pass it over here, it should be updating the safe search accordingly over here. So let us see it. So updated safe search. So if I just run it now, if you see the service created successfully, it should be listing the existing searches. It is printing that particular payload, and if you see at the end, it is updated correctly. This new alert updated correctly. So if I just go back to Splunk, this is the new alert. So I need to refresh it once. So if I just go back over here, the description has changed to this is updated alert, and the cron schedule is also changed over here, and the search is also changed over here as well. Okay. So this is how you can update a alert, and the same concept applies to safe search as well. You just need to provide a search string if you want to change the search, or you need to provide a payload over here which will be changing the other stuff over here as well. Okay. Now another important stuff I wanted to mention over here regarding the update safe search method over here is, if you see in the update safe search method, what we did over here is we updated the safe search and then we printed the search string of that particular search, right? Now if you see, like initially the search was the count by source type, then we updated to count by source, right? Now once we again printed this particular mySafeSearch.search, basically mySafe is the search string over here. If you see in the below, it is still showing the index equals to underscore internal stats count by source type only, but in our server it is already updated by stats count by source. So something we need to do to update the local copy, that means once you updated that particular safe search, if you want to work further with that safe search, the local copy of that particular search needs to be updated as well. So that's why there is a method called refresh, refresh. This one you need to call it once you update the safe search as well over there. Okay, so once you do that, if I just run it, you should be able to see the updated copy of that particular search as well over here. So this is important if you want to further work with this particular safe search as well over here. And if you see it, now it is properly telling me the proper search over here. Okay. And if you see, like it is also updated over here as well. Now the last part of our discussion is the how to delete a safe search over here. Okay, so what we'll do is we will do it in the similar way. So we will be creating a new method. Let's say delete underscore safe search. Okay, we will see its inputs. Let us go up a bit. Pass. And then the exception over here. Okay. Now deleting a safe search is actually the similar process of creating a safe search. So in the safe search creation, what we did in the safe search collection, we basically called this particular create method to add a safe search. In the delete of the safe search, we will call the delete method over here. So if I just go back to this documentation over here for that Python class, this is our safe searches class, right? And while creating the safe search, we call this method. While deleting the safe search, we will be calling this particular methods over here. Okay, so very easy. So what we need, basically we need a Splunk service because we need this safe searches method over here. So basically Splunk service we need, and we need a safe search name over here. So I will just copy this one over here, the safe search name over here, right? Now in the in the try method, what in the try, what we'll be doing from the Splunk service save searches, similar way we did for the update one, or basically what we'll see, what we'll do it over here, not in the update one, create one Splunk service dot. So if you see it, like in the create method, we basically use the save search collection, which was the input of this method, right? And if I just go back to this create method over here, so this was the save searches collection, which was nothing but the save search list. So that means nothing but our Splunk service dot save searches, correct? So we can directly say in our delete method Splunk service, so I just copied the whole stuff, Splunk service dot save searches. This will give me the all the save searches collection. Then we will use the delete method over here, right? And in the delete method, it is asking for the name of the save search, which we are taking it as a parameter in our delete method, correct? So if everything goes fine, we will just print over here. I'll just copy this print method over here from the update save search. So we will just say this guy deleted correctly or successfully, whatever you want to mention over here. Okay, so that should be enough code for our deletion method. Again, you can handle a lot of other exceptions over here as well. I'm not going to that level. So let us try to call this guy over here and try to delete our stuff. Okay, so update save search, I will not call it now. I will call our delete save search, and let's delete our new alert we have created over here. Okay, so I will pass the name over here of the save search. So if everything is going fine, the alert which is basically showing up over here as a new alert, it will be automatically deleted. So let us try to test this, and if you see, like, it does not depend on whether your alert is disabled or not. You can anytime update that alert as well, even though it is disabled as well over here. Okay, I will delete as well. So I will clear this and I will run this guy over here. So service created successfully, listing, and the new alert deleted as well over here. So if I just do a refresh, the new alert will be gone over here. Okay, so this is how you will be deleting as well using the Python SDK. And if you see it, like, even I did not remember any code over here. What I saw is three things over here. Basically, what are the different classes are involved over here, and while doing the payload over here, how to connect to Splunk, that is also you need to understand. And while creating the payload, what are the different inputs for that payload is actually mapping to our savesearches.conf. Okay, so that is what you need to understand over here. Even though you do not know which one you want to see it over here, first maybe try to create a sample test alert, something like this one, okay, in your Splunk. Then try to see the savesearches.conf. Then try to find out what are the corresponding inputs for this one in our documentation. Then create your payload accordingly over here. Okay, so hopefully this video was helpful. See you in next video.